a positive and respectful manner. That means follow the rules, speak and act responsibly, show courtesy and respect to your fellow fans, the officials, coaches, administrators, and of course, the Chagrin and Hawken players. Let's make tonight's contest great by remembering to respect the game. The officials assigned to this game have been selected and assigned according to the procedures adopted by the Chagrin Falls is coached by Dave Barber, and Hawken School is coached by Anthony Burns. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here are your starting lineups. For the Chagrin Falls Tigers, number 2, senior Oscar DeFranco. Number 3, senior Spencer Cash. Number 5, senior Evan Castelluccio. Number 12, senior Ryan Curtis. And number 13, junior Jacob Kennedy. And now, for your Hawken Hawks. Number 0, freshman Ice Taylor. Number 1, senior Jordan Johnson. Number 3, junior Deron Hill. Number 12, sophomore Jack Oswald. And number 30, junior Greg Price.
Welcome in, folks. High school basketball again here on CVC TV. ChagrinValleyConference.com. The matchup tonight featuring the home Hawken Hawks taking on the visiting Chagrin Falls Tigers from Hawken High School in Gates Mills, Ohio. Kyle Cornell, AA Anthony Alfred with you on the call as always. AA, 2 teams that are competitive to say the least here in the Chagrin division at the CVC.
Yeah, very much competitive. You're talking about here in this division, you know, Hawk is at the top. They're number 1, 6-0, undefeated in conference. But this is a big game for both teams, big game for Chagrin Falls. They're 2-3, 4th, but they can win this one on the road. Be a huge confidence booster.
And Chagrin Falls dealing with some injuries, but getting healthy at the right time as we hit the second half of the season. The tip is won by the Hawks. Jordan Johnson will bring it up, and we're underway from Hawken High School. Hawken 9-5, AA in the season, 6-0 as you mentioned in the division as Price tries to go to work. Dishes back out, 3-pointer for Hill on the way. Back iron, no good. Rebound pulled in there by Chagrin Falls. Spencer Kaz, the senior.
It's going to be very important to see who's going to get a great start. Both of these teams, phenomenal teams, but both coming off of losses. So getting a good start, very, very important here in front of this crowd here at Hawken.
Curtis working baseline passes, cross-court, dish out, good ball movement, 3-pointer on the way. It's good. Shot by Evan Castelluccio, knocks it down. First 3 points of the game go to the Tigers.
And he is a player that, my goodness, he can do everything on the floor. And offensively, him getting going is a huge deal.
Hawken can respond. Johnson dishing off.
This year, the first free throws wide. Price, one of those guys, one of those leaders on his team.
Love that leadership from Price. Still a junior. So he's still got some more time to obviously develop too, but we saw him last season a few times play some fantastic basketball, and it's propelled his team to the forefront of the CVC Chagrin division here as Aja makes the second free throw. 3-1 to score. Tigers with the early lead. Kaz getting pressured by Price. Full court, man-to-man here.
And Hawkins going to meet you a lot up front there. You're going to get, they got to be able to handle that.
And Ryan Curtis, who plays a guard forward type role. Think of the stereotypical small forward type that can bring the ball and move and create. He can tend to do that. Working on Hill, passing out, three-pointer on the way. It's off front iron, no good, pulled in by Price. Taylor gets the pass. You know what, the dish it back up to Johnson. He thought about a three, and Hawken will reset. McKay had that wing jumper wide open, double A, just couldn't get it to fall. Hawken looking to capitalize.
Yeah, it's just tough. Defense did a good job getting it right back, though. But this Hawkins offense, they work.
When to put the ball movement in.
Hill, this is the guy right here, number 3.
And he thought about taking that shot. This time it's Aja inside. He'll miss the layup. That's no good. Pulled in by Curtis. Here come the Tigers.
And Curtis and Hill, this matchup right here is going to be key all game long.
Okay, trying to work baseline. We'll pass in. Layups up from DeFranco. Front iron no good. Tipped out to Johnson. And back comes Aja. He'll dish it up. DeFranco going to dish it off. Okay, thought about that three. And Chagrin Falls a reset.
You mentioned the first thing about the culture change. That's something that Coach Burns, that was the first thing he mentioned to Cleveland.com during the preseason. It's establishing a brand new culture coming from Maple Heights.
Okay, thought about that. Ball tipped out, going to stay with the Tigers. Looking for Curtis on that drive. Far side of the paint there, but ball tipped out.
Of course, it's interesting here. 4:47 left, only 2 shots on the board.
Ah, and you said that there. Curtis got the good inbounds pass. He gets his first basket. 5-3 now, Tigers. Price looking to go all the way, coast to coast, and scores. The aggressiveness of Greg Price, his first basket of the game, tied up.
And that's what they want to do, keep out established. Now, if you're Chagrin Falls, just continue to operate the offense.
Trust in the ball handlers here. Not a lot of screens being set. Curtis thought about that. Pass over, corner 3 on the way. Front iron no good. Tip through, rebound up. That one falls. Great follow on the backside right there by Evan Castelluccio, and it's now 7-5 Chagrin.
He did a great job. The entire offense did a great job of really, really finessing the offense, finding the best look possible.
Ball going to stay with the Hawks. And it's 3:59 to go in this first quarter. 7-5 the score. Smart there. And both teams pressing pretty high in this man defense that way. We've seen a couple zones already this year, but going some man early for both these squads.
Oh, and these are 2 of the best teams to do it, too.
Price, little sidestep 3, in and out. Couldn't get it to fall. Curtis brings it down.
Tell you what, Chagrin Falls better not give Price that look again.
DeFranco had a head full of steam going towards the lane. He gets his own rebound. He gets the ball ripped away. Price takes it, dishes it up. Here comes Jordan Johnson. He'll dish off. Price inside. Look, layup. It's good. Ice Taylor with his first basket. Tie game with 3:26 to go in the first quarter.
Great basket, a phenomenal assist by Price.
Curtis working, lays, throws. That one gets tipped out of bounds. Thought he was going to try and go up and under with a layup there, but he had to try and dish it. And that brings in the first sub of the evening. Brad Russell, that name should sound familiar to some fans here on CVC TV. The guy just shoots threes at an alarming rate. Speaking of threes, DeFranco on the way. Back iron, no good. Pulled in by Curtis. He'll dish it back out. Kaz. Russell, that's his game. Three-pointer, front iron, no good. Pulled in by DeFranco. He'll lay it up. Short, no. Pulled in. Great defense right there by Aja. Now back come the Hawks. Price is a lane inside. That one sent away. Great defense by Kaz. Ball out of bounds. Going to stay with Hawken.
Kaz did a great job there holding his ground there against Price. Price had an outlet pass that wasn't able to take.
You know, he wants to be physical inside too, and Kaz, the senior, stepping up. Knocked that ball away. Keep 2 points off the board.
playing through. Chagrin tried to get a late sub in.
We have to wait for the next dead ball now as Price works. Almost falls, but stays on his feet. Great defense. Get by Franco. Price spin move inside and lays it in. Greg Price. Sweet spin. And Hawken has their first lead of the night with 2:37 to go in this first quarter, 9-7.
Man, that dude's the truth, man. I love watching him play last year.
Curtis inside answers with an and one. Ryan Curtis, his second bucket, and he's looking for one more.
And just as it was a great move by Curtis, just as I was praising Price offensively, defensively, giving up the score and the foul. Evolution of a player.
Yeah, Robbie McNona got to check in now for the Tigers, one of those key contributors off the bench. As well as Quinn Barger. Free throw off back iron, no good, pulled in by Hawken. David Grazel checking in for the Hawks, number 21 as well. 9-9, 2:20 to go in this first quarter. As expected, both these teams played earlier in the season. It was an 8-point win for Hawken at Chagrin Falls. But a close game at halftime there and went down to the wire, expecting more of the same tonight.
And playing a consistent brand of basketball throughout the entirety of the game. That's the focus for both of these teams.
Now you see, again, Chagrin Falls switching up to a zone double A, kind of trying to keep Hawken on their toes. Bit of a 2-1-2 look. Three-pointer on the way. It's good! David Gragel knocks it down. His first 3 points off the bench. Inside layup. That one no good. Pulled in by Johnson. Went up with that left hand and snagged it. Hill in the forecourt. Lays it up. Lays it in.
Telling you the
Hill.
speed of Deron Hill.
Oh, man, he was out. Leaped out quick, and Hawkins starting to assert themselves. Running the ball. And fast in transition. And you have the kind of athleticism they do. So you like to get out. Curtis thought about a mid-range two. Will dish it out.
Just finding the right look. You don't want the game to get away from you at this point early on.
And Kaz. The ball smacked away. Good defense by Price. Johnson, nice pass inside. Layup is up, and it is good. McGragel knocks down his second shot. Timeout taken by Chagrin Falls, down 16-9 now with 1:02 to go in this first quarter double A. And what a job by the Tigers, really just pushing the ball now, getting some good defense. And obviously we know, hey, good defense leads to good offense.
Yeah, and that's what you want. It's just playing those passing lanes. And Coach Burns has made a huge point here in these last few possessions to disrupt those passing lanes. And the last two possessions, getting the score, defensively coming over and making it happen.
I want to remind you, our presenting sponsor, as always, for CVC TV is the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Drs. Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Handle everything from dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction for all of your oral surgery needs. Visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. Well, now it's adjustment time for Coach David Barger over there for Chagrin Falls. You expected this. The speed of Hawken coming into play here.
And the one thing Coach Barger does like, though, at this point of the year, he has his guys back healthy, ready to go. And it's something we don't account for. You know, you got guys on the team that play football, soccer, you know, any other fall sports, so it's getting healthy.
I'll tell you what, you mentioned Oscar DeFranco, too. That soccer injury looked like it was going to be serious. And great defense here by Hawken, but DeFranco able to battle through. He got back at the beginning of last month, despite all odds, and he's been able to be a huge spark plug for this team.
See here, Chagrin can kind of get some points here with 40 seconds to go in the first quarter.
They're playing man, but they're having some trap involved, too, which is a hybrid-type defense that works very well when you're an athletic team. Move inside, Kay lays it up. That one falls. Jacob Kay had to hang in the air for a minute, but he gets his first basket. Inside, Taylor gets sent away. Good block right there by Robbie McNona. 21.7 seconds to go in the first quarter. 5-point lead for Hawken with the ball.
Setting their feet, and it's going to be important for those big guys for Chagrin Falls to really, really get back, because this Hawks team, they're going to make you think you're watching a track meet.
And Price looks like he's content to hold on for the last shot of this first quarter. It's been close throughout. Hawkins starting to pull away at the latter stages of it. Trying to get one more solid possession. Hill, three-pointer on the way. Back iron, no good.
Sprint after it.
Take it in, 2 seconds to go. Gonna shoot it. Russell can hit those. Oh, it's off back iron and no good. Had a look, and the score 16-11 as we head into the second quarter right here on CVC TV. Every time he shoots, we get a little nervous. We have to get our voices ready to get a little loud when he makes those shots double A.
Remember last year, as you referenced the postseason performance.
Oh, my goodness.
Where Russell came in, Chagrin Falls had a little bit of a deficit against, who were they facing again?
Wellington, yeah. It was the Dukes out from Lorain County, and Russell had a couple of threes, and all of a sudden that deficit magically disappeared.
Yeah, that's right.
They were down by double digits, almost 20 points at one point, and Russell was able almost single-handedly to pull them back in. Him and DeFranco both can bring different levels. We know that obviously Russell has started a few games this year because of injury, but this is where Coach Barger likes him, coming off the bench. Some of the starters maybe still out there for Hawken, maybe a little tired. They've been running around a lot in that first quarter. That's when you can get some of those open threes, but so far 0 for 2 for Brad Russell at this point.
Absolutely, and we were at Gilmore last year for that matchup.
Yeah.
And what's interesting, this Chagrin Falls team a year ago only had one senior.
Oh, my goodness.
So
look at the roster now.
You're right. You have a bunch of young guys last year who were playing starter minutes even when they weren't supposed to, and they're used to this experience. So I'm not concerned. If you're a Chagrin Falls fan, even though you're down 16-11, should be concerned. I mean,
you're comfortable inside single digits with this team. 9 seniors this year, double A. I mean, if you're not a junior or above, you almost don't get on the roster at this point. For Chagrin Falls, there's that much talent and depth and experience. They're used to this. They're used to being up. They're used to being down. Nothing new for the Tigers as they try to work their way back into this one in the second frame.
Of course, the Hawks have something to prove, too. They led by 10 points against NDCL in their last game, and they blew that lead and lost.
They fell short. Rebound pulled in by Jacob Stofsky. He's coming to the ball game now for Hawken. Price still out there. He'll play the majority of the game tonight. You'll see him and Duran Hill most likely out there for a good chunk of it. A couple rotational pieces, but the leading scorers, we know who they are. Here's Hill.
And Coach Burns had them committed back to the program.
Talk about, hey, maybe coach is leaving. We think about maybe going somewhere else. We're kind of in between school districts, and decision to stay. That ball going to be tipped. Great job there for Kay to use his height, get his hand up and knock that ball down. Passing up, here comes Curtis working on Price. What a matchup here inside. Curtis lays it up, lays it in.
Curtis, great job there in the paint there because Price is going to make you work. He did a great job.
Ice Taylor trying to respond. That three is no good. Rebound pulled in. Ball off the leg of Evan Castelluccio. Coach Berger and company not happy, but it's going to stay with the Hawks.
That whole bench was not happy about that call. They all unison said, wait a minute.
It's going to stay with Hawken nevertheless. Pass in now, and it's getting Obe, who's in the game too. Another football star we see on the gridiron. Turn the fall, layup inside. That one's good. Great take inside by Price. He's got 6.
Great matchup on both sides with Price holding tall, getting those points.
Price and Curtis each with 6 points apiece, but it's a 5-point lead right now for the Hawks here at home. Curtis Felly's going to dish it out. Another fall, dishing back out. Wow, how about that? The effort from the Tigers.
And that was important because the possession arrow's over with the Hawks.
Yeah, and DeFranco just one too many steps there. Trying to let someone do a flyby, but just kept that other foot down a little too long, and the ball's going to go back to the Hawks.
It's going to be an opportunity here. That's 6:19 here in the second quarter. Defensively, Chagrin Falls, they're working, but the endurance, you're seeing it here with Hawken.
Going to have to hit those open shots, too, when you get those looks. Good read, or steal, I should say, inside by DeFranco. Just perfect timing right there by the senior.
Might be one of the best players on the floor. You do it all.
I'll tell you what, impressive. Here's Kay working in. He'll just cross to Castelluccio, back up to Kay. Kay's got to land inside an Obe. It lays up high, and it's no good. He was eventually pulled in there by Stofsky. Here comes Ice Taylor and the Hawks. 5:40 to go in this first half, up by 5. And some patience being, in the half court at least, being shown by both these teams, willing to move the ball around, try and break down the defenses.
Sometimes we lay out even as commentators because it's interesting to hear the adjustments that the coaches are making even when the players are coming up the floor.
Especially with two really good defensive teams. In-game adjustments are going to be crucial for both sides. Fast break points or fast break points, you'll get those, but this is where you can win some games. And a good move inside. Sometimes my one-on-one's better. And Duran Hill makes the layup, gets the fall. Taken inside by Duran Hill. We're going to see more of that tonight, AA.
I love Duran Hill in that entire possession. Working, not forcing a bad shot, not taking a bad shot, but still active with the basketball. He finally found a look that he loved, took it, got the points.
Well, if you want to take a winning shot when it comes to your oral health, you should check out our presenting sponsor for CVC TV, the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. You know them, you love them, Drs. Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber. Specialties include everything from dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery, and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website. That's www.ohsurgery.com. Now, what a start for the Hawken Hawks, AA, up 7 as we approach the halfway point of the second quarter. And we've seen the patience side of things in the half-court offense, been able to move the ball around, trust your ball handlers to make some plays, and we've seen obviously them get out in the fast break and get some easy layups too.
Yeah, and they're doing it all. It's just going to be interesting what kind of defensive adjustments you're going to see from the Tigers. At the point of attack, the Tigers are doing a good job defensively, but Hawken, they're a smart basketball team. They don't take bad shots. That's something that stands out immediately. So it's going to be important for Chagrin Falls. Yeah, you can lock down defensively early, but you got to stay with it. That's what makes it tough against this Hawks team.
And again, playing this pseudo full court pressure defense. And it's technically man, but yeah, just playing up a little bit. There's some traps that are involved in it too. It's a different kind of defense you don't normally see at the high school level. You don't, but this is what Coach Burns, Anthony Burns, brings to the table. They immediately move to a zone. Three-pointer is up and in, can't get it to fall. Tell you what, Kay was that close to making this a 4-point game, but a good rebound by Hawken, and back come the Hawks. Price, layup, can't get it to fall on the other end, but he's going to get 2 free throws. That's what I love, too. Like, for the Hawks, I love that whole entire possession. Chagrin Falls doesn't get the key 3. You punish them. You punish them. You attack immediately. You can catch some teams sleeping a little bit if you're able to get the defensive rebound and push right away. As Price will miss the first free throw. Well, sometimes, even just if you go inside the mind of an athlete, you miss a critical shot, you're not thinking immediately, I got to get back on defense. That's what a coach would do. You're thinking, I missed it. And then by the time you're looking up, Greg Price is into the forecourt. Yeah. Trying to throw a layup in as he gets 1 of 2 to fall, 21-13 with 4:28 to go here in this first half. Hawken holding on to that 8-point lead. And now in this zone, see Hawken again has moved off it a little bit. A little more space out there for the Tigers to work. Kaz trying to work baseline, dishing it off, pass through, that one taken away. Here comes Hill, he's got a lane inside. Duran Hill will lay it up. No, he's gonna throw it down! Duran Hill with his third basket, 6 points. Curtis, mid-range 2, back iron, no good, pulled in by Hill. They're not taking comfortable shots. That one was rushed. 10-point lead now for Hawken. 3:40 to go in this second quarter. Jordan Johnson directing the offense up top. You'll notice even on our screen here, all the backside activity at the baseline. Oh! Whoa, throwing high up there, and I'll tell you what. Duran Hill was feeling a little bouncy. That's the other end, though. Curtis can't get that one to fall. Price finds a way to rip it down, and the Hawks will get the ball back. I know it's tough, but the Tigers cannot be forced into playing Hawken's game. We're seeing that a couple possessions. Yeah, Price thought about that step-back 3. He'll dish it back out. Here's Hill. Jordan Johnson working through that ball off the foot right there of Jacob Kay, but it stays with the Hawks. Defensively, Chagrin Falls has got to stay locked in. These are tough possessions. Good screen by Obey. Price thought about that shifty 3 in the corner. And Price could take that shot if he wanted to. Just trying to find a good shot, maybe even a great shot here with the way they've been able to move the ball in the half court. Let's see how Jordan Johnson can operate now. Hill. Obey looking, dishing off. Johnson will take a 3. That's on the way. Long, no good, pulled in. Here comes Kaz. He'll dish off Curtis. Thought about a three was K. He'll dish through.
Wish he would have took the shot.
And Castellucci will take it rather than that, and that's no good. I should say that's DeFranco rather who missed that three-pointer. And back comes Hawken.
See, every Hawken possession either lasts 5 seconds or a minute. There's nothing in between.
A lot of patience being shown as we the 2-minute mark to go in this first half. 10-point lead for the Hawks. Hill working on Curtis. Price getting the ball back up, rather. Three-pointer. Price on the way. Back iron, no good. Pulled in right there by Castellucci. He'll dish off to Franco, to K. Jacob K still trying to get one of those threes. The Fly's got space. Speaking of space, Curtis, three-pointer. That's off front iron, no good. Tipped through and eventually going to be pulled in by Kaz. Right place, right time. Spencer Kaz trying to dish it through. That one no good. Take it away. Hill thought about the lead pass but didn't do it.
Now, pay attention here because this possession started with 1:30. See how long this possession is going to be.
It was almost over very quick there. As Curtis read that pass and knocked it out of bounds. Every time you say something like that, partner, I feel like something's going to happen.
I know. I think they heard that and took it as a challenge. Like, no, son, this possession is going to be 10 seconds. But 10 seconds did come off. But again, just the point, all the activity. You're going to see that the left side of your screen here, all the activity that's taking place away from the basketball.
Yeah, the motor of this team, too, in Hawken. They can go fast or they can slow it down. The ability to have a switch to flip, so to speak, is impressive. Bryce got the swing pass. He'll work through. Good move on Kaz. Hill thought about that corner three. He'll dribble off. Hill sizing up Kaz. He'll dish back out. Johnson.
We're already 40 seconds into this possession.
Yeah.
This is how they make you work. It's smart, strategic ball movement.
Just taking their time. 34 seconds to go in the second quarter.
A full minute. A full minute possession. They might eat up the entire quarter.
You can do that. Remember, no shot clock in high school basketball. So you can take your time and find the right look. 15 seconds to go here in the second quarter.
See, it's even tough to ask the defenders to get the steal, try to go off of a passing lane.
Hill going to work right side. Passes out. Three-pointer on the way. It's in and out. No good. Ball tipped up. Eventually pulled in. And a foul call, but 2.3 seconds to go. Aggressiveness inside there of Quinn Barger. He grabs the board and draws the foul.
That entire possession took 87 seconds. That is unbelievable.
So launch it here. Kaz tries to throw it up, and it's no good off wide right. And that's how we end the first half. The score 23-13. The home Hawken Hawks leading the visiting Chagrin Falls Tigers right here on CVC TV. Time for us to take a break. On the other side, we'll have a recap of the first half and second half action. But first, a little special presentation for you.
A girls basketball showdown in the Chagrin division between host Chagrin Falls and the visiting. Well, folks, it is halftime tonight on CVC TV. Hope you enjoyed the first half. Welcome into Cameron's Corner, presented by Michael DeLazel & Co., CPAs and Business Advisors. For more information, you can contact them at cpaneeds.com for all of your accounting help. Thank you so much for your support of the CVC TV halftime show and Cameron's Corner. We're going to take a look back at the previous week's action across the Chagrin Valley Conference, starting off on Wednesday with a girls basketball showdown in the Chagrin division between host Chagrin Falls and the visiting Richmond Heights Spartans. Honor Hall led the Spartans to a 39-36 tough win on the road to keep the Spartans undefeated in the conference as they look to repeat as conference champions. Let's take a listen to what Hall had to say post-game.
It's definitely a signature win for us. Just realizing that we have two seniors on our team, Maya Johnson and Nalaisha Comer. This was definitely a tough win. Also, as coming into this game, we definitely wanted to put a mark and a statement here again like we did last year. But kudos to Chagrin, of course.
Coach mentioned that a lot of the games you guys have played this year have been won by 14-point margins or more. How nice is it to kind of get that playoff type game where it's close and every possession matters and every point counts tonight?
Definitely in this win, we could definitely learn to stick together more, for sure. Going into practice next, we just got to stay locked in. This was a nice win, especially going into the couple games we got coming up soon, like St. V and other teams later on in the tournament.
Then I want to ask about the tournament. Your coach, we talked about it last year as well, bigger goals than just winning the conference and winning a sectional title and a district title. This team has its sights set on a state championship. Obviously a long road to go, but how much does a win like this kind of maybe fuel that fire of like, we have bigger goals than just winning a conference game in January?
Coming back from the, of course, the gap that they was up was definitely a feel of like how far we want to make it, and just that feel of the environment and just the intensity that we have to keep up throughout the game, especially making it far.
And continuing our recap of this week's action, let's take a look to Friday, where the Trinity Trojans came to Independence and took down the Blue Devils in a 69-62 Metro Division win on the boys basketball side. Trinity, Fairview, and Independence are in a really tight three-team race atop the Metro Division of the CVC. Trinity gets a really big win to stay right there at 1-2, and Cooper Hughes and Aiden Duncan were key in the win with 18 and 16 points respectively. Let's take a listen into what they had to say post-game following the big win at Independence on Friday.
It's a conference game. It's always going to be a good game regardless of who we're playing. It was just a good matchup, and we took care of business today. This is a great team. Well, we had contributors from the sophomore, junior, freshman, senior. Everybody, just great team win tonight.
How nice is it to come on the road? I talked with Independence's coach before. He said this is really important. It's between you guys, Independence, and Fairview for the conference title. How important was it to go on the road and take care of business in a hostile environment?
It's really important to me. I know it's important to us our senior year. We're trying to go out on a good note and just take care of business this year. Yeah, great. I'll just say great conference win. You know, undefeated in the conference. We came here with a chip on our shoulder. We know we was gonna get everything they had, and we did. And we still held it. We held our punch. We got their punch, and we ended up winning.
And now with our games covered, let's take a second to shine the CVC spotlight on a pair of CVC athletes who made their mark felt this week. First up is West Geauga junior wrestler Brian Denneman, who recorded his 100th career victory in a dual meet on Wednesday. Let's listen into what he had to say about reaching that milestone of his 100th career win.
Thank you, sir. I think it means a lot. It's a good goal. I think a lot of good wrestlers want to go towards it, and it's one of the best goals you can get besides, reaching the podium at states and as a high school wrestler.
I have to assume you knew you were at 99. So when you stepped out on the mat, what was your mentality there? What were you trying to accomplish?
My mentality was just another match. Go out there and do what you always do, and give it your best effort and wrestle to win.
You have a couple of tournament wins already this season, on the way to a 20-0 start. What's been going well for you on the mat so far this winter?
I think I've been pretty aggressive, been able to push pace and overwhelm kids and the match as early as I can, and just kids that don't go down easy, just tire them out and keep racking up the score.
Last year you were a state alternate. I'm sure your goal this year is to reach the state tournament, maybe get up on that podium. How confident are you that you're on track to do that?
I think I'm up there with all those guys, especially after the people I went with last year, the people that beat me, that got there, and seeing how they did. I think I'm just as good as anyone else, and that I can do pretty well.
How much did that fuel your fire, just to kind of put in the work in the off season and just come back this season ready to go?
It definitely helps, for sure. It makes me want to work harder. It makes me want to, do everything I can to get where I want to be. So definitely was fuel.
And lastly, let's listen to what Crestwood senior girls basketball player Hannah Ward had to say after she reached the 1,000-point milestone and set a fourth school record for the Red Devils, who are also looking to repeat as conference champions. Check that, are looking to win the conference this season, as they were tight in the race last season with Grand Valley on the girls basketball side. Let's listen into what Ward had to say.
It's pretty cool. It's been a goal of mine for years and years. Seeing other people reach it has inspired me to do the same. Just keep growing and getting better. So it's a pretty good feeling.
How did you hit that 1,000 points, and what kind of reaction did your teammates have?
Yeah. point guard, Abby, she was at the top of the key, and I ran to the wing 3-point line, and she just chucked it to me, and I was wide open, just shot it. And then I looked over because I was facing my bench, and I just saw them all jump up and had smiles on their face, and I ran towards them and a bunch of high fives and hugs. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
You've got the 1,000 points and you've got 4 records. You're tied for a 5th. It's quite an accomplishment to set one school record, and you have that 4 and tied for the other one, including most 3-pointers in a single game with 7. You're the record holder for the most 3-pointers in a single season with 63, most 3-pointers in her career with 173 and counting, most blocks in a single season with 60, and career blocks with 111 and counting. That's an impressive resume. What drove all that success?
I didn't really plan on getting any of these records, I guess, but I did look at the record board one day when I was a freshman, and it just inspired me. I was like, oh, it'd be really cool to be up here. And then when I started getting them, I was just like, didn't know I'd be able to do that. So kind of just drove me to keep getting better and succeed. And then, yeah, I just kept getting them. So it was pretty cool.
You're also closing in on the career scoring record at Crestwood. You need just 23 points to climb to number 3 and 52 more points to move into second place all time. I have to assume you're targeting that record as well, but I'm also confident you trade all those records to continue the great season your team is having. You're 8-4 overall and 4-0 in the CVC Valley division. What's it going to take for this team to achieve its goals this season and to make a deep run in the postseason?
Just keep working hard and being consistent. We know we can beat all these teams, so we just got to keep doing it. Just keep working hard at practice. We have a lot of great players who have become a lot better over the summer and so far this season. So if we just keep working hard and being consistent at practice, we can achieve any goal we set.
Thank you for all of our CVC athletes who took some time out to do some post-game interviews and CVC Spotlight interviews. That's all the time we have tonight on the CVC TV halftime show for tonight's contest. Thanks again to our sponsor, Michael DeLazo & Co., CPAs and Business Advisors. For all of your accounting help and needs, you can contact them at cpaneeds.com. And now we're going to send you back to CVC TV's Kyle Cornell and Anthony Alford for the second half of tonight's action. Thank you so much.
Halftime here at Hawken High School, the score 23-13. The home Hawks leading the visiting Chagrin Falls Tigers right here on CVC TV. In AA, an impressive first half for Hawken. They really had a lot of ball control, too. Some missed shots for the Chagrin Falls side turned into some easy baskets for the Hawks.
Yeah, it did. And, it starts pretty much at the top there. We talk about the leaders. Greg Price with 7 points. DeJuan Hill with 6 points. And, you think about the ball control. We joked before the end of the half. Hawkins' possessions are either 5 seconds long or, as we spotlighted, almost 90 seconds long. And Chagrin, they may not want to. They may have to take some chances defensively and try to, get some steals and steal possessions away from the Hawks.
Saw some more aggressive play later on in that second quarter from Oscar DeFranco. He's a guy that we saw last year in the playoffs. AA, you have to really step up and use that energy to get some things going on the defensive end that obviously translated into some offensive, output and some easier points for Chagrin Falls. And talk about 500 overall. The Tigers at 6-6, 2-3 into the Chagrin division. This is the A1 team here. Hawken at 6-0 in the division, trying to step up. And we mentioned, obviously, played each other a few weeks ago. 8-point win for the Hawks at Chagrin Falls. Tigers like nothing more than return the favor here tonight.
Yeah, and you mentioned the division. This is a pretty important game. Hawk, if they win, they can start to separate themselves a little bit. So, good back cut.
Oh, what a backdoor cut and lay in for Price. Getting shots inside all evening now. Kay works it, passes it inside. DeFranco lays it up, lays it in. First points of the game for Oscar DeFranco. Need him to be more aggressive if you're Coach Barger and company.
And you wonder if that was a concentrated effort, of course, going shot for shot here. But again, defensively, this has been the issue for Chagrin Falls.
Look inside that ball tipped. Jordan Johnson thought about a mid-range too. He'll dish back out to Price. And the Hawks will reset.
It's so tough to continue to lock in defensively for any of these long possessions.
Both teams are impressive defensively as Taylor throws that one up. It's no good. Tip through. DeFranco got it to Kaz, and here come the Tigers.
Meeting up in the front of the court there.
DeFranco working on that wing. Passing through Castelluccio to Curtis. Curtis lays it up inside. That's no good. Pulled in by Castelluccio. Dish back out. Three-pointer. DeFranco. That one's short. Maybe got tipped. Passing uphill looking for Taylor, and it's going to be just a bit outside. Ball going back to the Tigers.
I don't hate that pass. I don't hate it. I know it was a soft.
Well, you mentioned the aggressiveness, too. Hey, off a missed shot, looking up court, seeing who leaked out. Try to get an easy layup. You want as many easy points and as many easy baskets as you can get.
And that's something that Chagrin has not been able to do, is get easy points. Maybe they get something here.
Franco tried to go baseline, get cut off by Jordan Johnson. Curtis, mid-range, elbow chew, that one's good. 8 points now for Ryan Curtis.
Tell you what, against tough defense, Ice Taylor right in his grill.
Well, that's Curtis's game, though, that mid-range, too. He's been able to knock that down at a high rate. Leading scorer this year, again, for Chagrin Falls.
Curtis, a mainstay in that lineup.
Three-pointer is no good. Falls right into the lap of Jordan Johnson. He can't get it to fall. I was expecting some pressure inside. And they're going to call a foul. Johnson looked like he was bracing for contact on that layup. Never got it. Throw it up there, but managed to get his own rebound again and draw the foul.
I think it's critical. We mention this every game, and we've been working together for 2 years. Every game, offensive rebounds.
No, Price going to get called for the travel there as the ball was high. Try to get something inside quick and just lost balance. Ball going back to Chagrin Falls.
So an opportunity here for the Tigers. 5:40 to go, third quarter. They can get some points here. Cut into this.
You don't want to have a bunch of empty possessions in a row. I think that's something that happened with the Tigers in that first half. Like getting some good shots, but just weren't getting them to fall. Against a team like Hawken, you have to make those chances count.
They're going to make you pay if you don't make those shots. It's that simple.
All right. Curtis working through three-pointer on the way. Kaz, no good, front iron pulled in by Price.
And Price can bring the ball up the court.
That's where he's been deadly. Layup is good. Greg Price with a long Euro step through, gets to finish. Back up to a 10-point lead, try to make it 11.
It's so frustrating when, if you draw up you can draw up the best offense and take the best shots. If they don't fall, like you saw there, the other team that's leading can come back the other way, get the and one.
Price going to miss that free throw, pulled in by Ryan Curtis. So Price has been the most deadly, too, in that forecourt, taking the ball the full length. A bump there by Ron Hill. It's going to be his first.
Again, just creating that physicality defensively. Man, it's really nice to see Coach Burns really orchestrate this defense.
Usually an uphill battle for a first-year coach, but Burns has done a great job of pressing the right buttons for this Hawks team. Have them in great shape as we head through the latter parts of the season.
2 years ago, won coach of the Northeast Lakes District Coach of the Year over at Maple Heights.
That ball blocked away. Great defense on the inside there by Aja. Ball going to stay with the Tigers.
Well, we said the Tigers trying to find an easy shot. The Hawks are not cooperating with that.
Easier said than done. Is that ball going to go through the hands of Castelluccio, and it's going to go back to Hawken. 4:35 to go in this third quarter. 10-point lead for the home Hawks. Trying to get their 10th win of the season tonight. Easy. Playing someone who has an offhand than yours. Taylor thought about a mid-range shot, pass out of it.
Take it from somebody who's watched basketball for a long time. That's just a beautiful move to make. Does 2K count?
Sure. For this argument, it does. Layup's up, no good. Tipped through but brought in by Jacob Kay. He'll push the ball into the forecourt. Okay, nice backdoor pass. A little bit too far ahead of Curtis. Turnover, ball going back to the Hawks.
And the Hawks are doing a great job, even in those situations. Their guys are getting back defensively immediately. They're getting right back. So even when it seems like Chagrin Falls has the numbers, they really don't.
Steadying presence, the senior Jordan Johnson. Obviously know what he brings on the football field too, but fantastic basketball player in his own right.
By the way, a short rotation for Hawken.
Yeah, we're going to see about 7-8 players. That's what you're looking at. His three-pointer's up. That one's no good. Ball tipped out of bounds by Johnson. That one should go to the Tigers, and it will.
Like, these guys are in shape to run these type of possessions, and you don't see that many substitutions.
I'll tell you right now, I'm winded, and I'm sitting up here at the very top of the bleachers, Double A. I haven't had to take one step yet.
I was just winded walking to the kitchen this morning.
Three-pointer from Kay is up in the corner. That's no good. Pulled in by Kene Obe. Dishing, looking up. Wow, it found its way through. Pass in between the legs, and it still stays. Tell you what, Hawken not afraid to
How in the world
get that ball up
do
there.
they still have possession?
And that ball split 3 different Tiger defenders, but it ended up staying with the Hawks here.
I mean, that takes guts to make that type of a pass.
It was almost a behind-the-back pass off of that for a layup. Price now working on Brady Russell. Or Brad Russell, rather. Good crossover. Price dishing off. Johnson. Fake the pass. Three-pointer on the way. It's good.
Good move by Johnson. He has had some really, really phenomenal possessions here in this third quarter.
2:15 to go in this third frame. Pass cross court. Russell thought about the three, I think, again.
And again, we covered many of these guys during football season. Same type of attitude carry over to the basketball team.
Curtis looking to get this lead down to 10 again. 1:42 to go in the third quarter. 30-19 the score. Free throw is up, and it is good. Curtis now has 11 points. It's a 10-point game with 1:40 to go in the third quarter.
I want to see number 10 for Hawken, Obi. I want to see what he does.
Athletic. Post player. Sets physical screens as well.
He was one of those standout football players for Hawken.
Taylor working inside. He'll score. Ice Taylor lays it in with the left hand. Right away pushing.
I mean, you said earlier, your first name's Ice.
One of the best basketball names I've seen. As Barker will dish back out. Some motion offense here from the Tigers.
This is good. You got to keep it going.
Curtis working his way in, passing over. Three-pointer going to be on the way. Kaz, no good. Pulled in by Hill. He'll push. Ron Hill, pass inside. Pass. Johnson lays it up. No, can't get it to fall. That ball tipped through it. Eventually going to get pulled down by Hill. He'll dish. Inside. That one blocked from behind. What defensive play there by Robbie McNona. David Gradual tried to go up with that layup, and McNona said, no thanks.
I mean, can you have a possession where both teams do something that you really, really like?
Yes.
And it doesn't lead to points? But, man, good stuff.
You have been until it doesn't lead to points. 1 point at the end. As Taylor's going to take this three-pointer in and out, no good. Tip through, grabbed by Castelluccio. Tipped by Taylor, but it's going to stay with the Tigers.
You know, somebody I knew once said, if you score more points than the other team,
you win.
Usually, you win the game.
Usually. There's been a few exceptions in history, but I won't name those now. And Hawken bringing out that.
See what they do here these last 25 seconds of the quarter.
Press kind of. Some traps, some switches. Looks like maybe Chagrin Falls okay with holding for maybe the last shot here.
Find a look that you are going to love going into the fourth quarter.
Dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial dental surgery and implants, corrective jaw and facial surgery and trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. Considering I thought I was somewhere I wasn't. But we found our way here, and we found our way into a good game going into the fourth quarter. Double A, only a 10-point difference. And we know the senior leadership, overall leadership of the Chagrin Falls team, you never really feel like you're out of a game. I think they could qualify here.
Yeah, this is the moment right here. They're going to start with the basketball. And it was very important to get those last points before the end of the quarter. Really got to cut into this lead. This is important for Hawken, too, because the last game they had a 10-point lead and they blew it.
Barger inside, lays it in. Aggressive take from Quinn Barger, his first basket, now down to an 8-point game. Like that right away.
And if you're Hawken, you don't like that right away because this is the time that they've been working on here.
Taylor goes inside, that one no good, tip through, eventually pulled in by Barger. He's looking to push, going to spin off, facing some pressure.
NASA pressure up the court.
Yeah, but there were some openings here. Layup inside, hard, no good. Almost got that one to fall. DeFranco threw that one at the rim, and I'll tell you what, almost got it to fall, but Hawken will control possession.
Interesting decision here now with Price bringing the ball up the floor, which he's done throughout the game when Hill's not available.
And the ball out of bounds, and it's going to go back to the Tigers. Errant pass.
And again,
turnover from Price.
I'm sorry, Kyle. You just think mentally. A few days ago, facing NDCL, led by 10 points going into the fourth quarter, lost that game.
Also got to think undefeated in conference play, AA too. You want to keep that going. Is that in the back of everyone's head? As you try to nurse this 8-point lead with under 7 minutes to go in the ballgame.
Communication's key offensively for the time for both teams.
The backdoor cut. Russell went off the dome and could not corral it. Ball going to go back to the Hawks. Russell with a great backdoor cut. Ball a little bit behind his head. Tried to reach back but couldn't get it. And the Hawks now get the ball back.
And I believe the defender tipped it, and then Russell couldn't get the ball either. So
even when you do everything right, it seems like Hawken's been able to do just enough to change some shots, make things a little more difficult than they seem to be. So the Hawks have been able to keep this lead. Pass in, Price working inside. They're going to call a reach-in foul there as that layup will not count. Now DeFranco, if that's on him, it's going to be his fourth. And it will be. So got to watch out now. You get 5 fouls in high school basketball.
And DeFranco, he just has not been able to get things really going all game long.
And just 2 points for the senior. So Jacob Kay will check back in to take on Price. That's officially technically his assignment. We'll switch off on Deron Hill now. Taylor working inside. That one sent away. Good defense by Curtis. It was Ryan Curtis into the forecourt, working on the freshman Taylor. He gets trapped, dishes out. Kay dishing over. 3-pointer on the way. Barger shoots. Front iron no good. Tipped and brought in. Comes Taylor. Good cross. Taylor dishing off to Johnson. Hill dish cross court. Hill thought about a 3. He'll slow it down. Then he'll speed it right up. Hill inside, lays it in. No good. Rebound by Taylor is good. 6 points for Ice Taylor.
He was looking for Hawken to get something going there. And Taylor just right place, right time, off his rebound and put back.
Yeah, you can't afford those second chance opportunities for the Tigers. Got to corral that rebound. Because we know Hawken's aggressive on that. Here comes Curtis inside. Lays it up left hand, lays it in.
You just wonder if you're the Tigers, like, man, we've been getting good shots all game long. It seems like more of them have missed than been made today, and finally that one goes down.
Figured things out on the defensive end now. Taylor working inside, left hand layup is good. Good peel around that screen, and Ice Taylor gets his 4th basket. Back into a 10-point game with 5:18 to go in this fourth quarter.
He likes that left hand layup. Safe spot from the offensive rebound before.
So just going to dish back out. Good defense by Taylor. What does that say? Is the 3-pointers up from Kay? That's off. Hired, no good. Taylor grabs the board. Coach Burns trusting Ice Taylor to guard Curtis. Here in the fourth quarter, the freshman guarding the senior. Leading scorer on the other side.
Hey, step it up, big moments.
Getting some good defensive stops there. Johnson trying to work his way through. He'll keep possession. Impressive, and he's going to double dribble.
Yeah, I think he was concerned about stepping out. He stayed in, but couldn't maintain the handle.
And Dave Gradual will check back into the game. Spencer Kaz back into the game as well for the Tigers. And a timeout going to be taken, actually, by Coach Barker to talk things over. 10-point game, 4:45 to go here in your CVC TV high school basketball game of the weekend. Of course, presenting sponsor for us here at CVC TV, as always, the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery. Drs. Keith Schneider, Don Lewis, and Jill Weber, they handle everything from dental surgery and implants to corrective jaw and facial surgery and even trauma reconstruction. For all of your oral surgery needs, visit the Ohio Center for Oral, Facial, and Implant Surgery website at www.ohsurgery.com. And hey, thank you for your support of the Chagrin Valley Conference and us here at CVC TV. Crunch time, Double A, crunch time.
Yes, it is. And this is a good learning opportunity, of course. Here on ChagrinValleyConference.com, you see it throughout our league. Of course, Cameron Palmer, he talked about it during halftime. Just those learning opportunities that all these teams face, and both of these teams face it right here, right now.
Crucial point in this game for Chagrin Falls.
They just got to find it. Chagrin Falls just has to find an easy shot. They had the one possession. I believe it was Curtis who was able to get it.
Second dunk of the game for Deron Hill. Last time I said he was going to lay it up, and I learned my lesson. He throws that one down with two hands, back up to a 12-point lead.
Well,
DeFranco going inside. Meantime, Double A draws the foul.
They post here every time a Hawks player scores their photo at the scores table, and they had every time Deron, every time he scores, he's flexing in the picture that you see here.
And that'll be very apropos for that dunk. Two hands with authority is. So Taylor going to check back into the game as DeFranco missed his first. He's got 4 fouls. But again, the trust from Coach Barger keeping him in the game here in this fourth quarter. Second one can't fall. Taylor grabs the board. Free throw has been a problem for both teams tonight.
And with Coach Burns, they sold him on culture, and they have made a huge difference in this team.
That's the buy-in that new coaches need from their players at almost any level. And that ball going to be on the floor as a foul is called, I believe, on. Call that on Castelluccio or K? They're going to call it on K, so it'll be Jacob K's second. Now Hill trying to get physical going to the lane. Got bumped on the ground. 3:07 to go, 12-point lead, 40-28 for Hawken, who have the ball. Timeout going to get called by Price. No one available. Good defense by Chagrin Falls.
Veteran move by Price.
So looking ahead to AA next week, we head back to Fairview High School next Friday. Get to see the boys play.
Yeah, we do.
Excited about that matchup.
Now, I'll give you an incentive to watch on CVC TV that matchup. Of course, come to the game, support your kids. But here's an incentive to watch our broadcast. Record low temperatures next week.
All the more reason to tune in, yeah.
No better reason to tune in the next week. But we saw the girls last week. The girls' team looked pretty good. They came up short, but the girls' team looked pretty good. And they had a girls-boys doubleheader last week, so we're packing up as the boys' team was taking the floor. This time, we get to unload our stuff and watch the boys' team compete.
Exciting matchup next week is Hawken able to get that ball in bounds. 3 minutes to go in the ball game. 12-point lead for the Hawks. Reminiscent of the end of the first half AA where they just held onto the ball, but there's a miscommunication, turnover, ball going back to the Tigers.
And that's just the door just cracked open, not completely shut, just a little cracked open. Time for Hawken to shut it down.
Defensively been all over the place tonight. Great D. Here's Curtis inside. Working, pass in through, dishing back out to Franco. Three-pointer, K on the way. It's good. Big three, down to a 9-point game with 2.5 minutes to go.
Let's see how they handle this defensively. But again, the Hawks, your job to continue the ball movement.
And Price gets bumped by K on the perimeter. So Jacob K's third.
This defense is going to be aggressive, but remember, the possession arrow at this moment.
I'm sticking with Hawkins, so even if it's a jump ball or any sort of play like that, it's going to stay with the Hawks. They are in control right now. Price dishing over. Taylor, corner three. It's good. Nice, Taylor. He's got 11. The freshman stepping up big.
They got a cool three-point graphic on the scores table.
Curtis is looking inside. That ball is kicked by Jordan Johnson. Going to stay with the Tigers. 2:02 to go. 12-point lead, 43-31. Favor of Hawken. They get Russell open. That was a low pass off his knee, and it's going to go back to the Hawks. Tough game for Brad Russell tonight.
Yeah, not getting those shots to fall. You know, he has started for this team, you know, throughout the year due to the injuries, of course. And that was a challenge that this basketball team faced early in the season.
And Russell 0 of 3. Couple turnovers. Tough night for the senior. Has some cross court now. Tigers try to pressure up. Taylor gets that ball. Impressive grab. Dishing back over to Price. Price will work his way through past Curtis. Dishing over. Corner 3 on the way. No good. Rebound pulled in by Kaz.
I'm going to mention this now, so not to forget it in the post game. I feel like Deron Hill can make any pass.
I think you'd be right. DeFranco goes inside, lays it up, lays it in. Good move by Oscar DeFranco. Timeout called by Hawken. 10-point game, 1:30 to go here in the fourth quarter. Yeah,
Tell you what, this is going to be the longest 90 seconds in terms of getting to the finish line, you know, for both of these teams. You know, I really like, though, with Chagrin Falls. They're doing a good job of getting necessary cuts, moving around without the basketball. They're doing well. You know, the issue has not been their offensive sets. The issue is just the ball going in the basket. They're getting great shots. It's just been a tough night until Jacob K made that open three-pointer, consistently getting shots to fall down.
We saw that last week, obviously, too, with Fairview and the girls. Some really good shots. Just for some reason, that game, we're not going down. And when you're in a close game, running around double digits, 10 points, maybe a little less here. We've seen them shrink the gap down to 9-7 in this fourth quarter, but not able to keep it going that direction. When you're missing those shots, man, it's tough to try and come back.
Well, I was just thinking about this. How often in the college game,
for a long pass, that one taken away by Barger.
Yeah, it hung up there too long.
Opportunity here. Three-pointer K, that one gets blocked. Great defense by Price. He closed out, dishes up to Jordan Johnson. Johnson over to Hill. Hill pass inside. That layup is good.
Wow.
Gagel gets the fall. He's got 7. 45-33 with a minute to go.
This defense has been swarming all game long.
Barger mid-range 2. That one's no good. Tipped up, eventually grabbed in. Pass back out. Three-pointer Curtis. Back iron no good, pulled in by Hill.
And Hill doesn't see what the foul's going to be here, Kyle.
Yeah, on the floor.
Hill does a phenomenal job defensively, getting off the ground and reaching for those rebounds. He has the size, but he doesn't use, he uses his size to get that rebound. 6'4".
The length too, the long arms. Saw a couple dunks this game on the offensive end from Hill.
I think he has one of the longest reaches in the CVC.
Taylor dishing that one off. Harris Hill running the full court. And he throws it down. Exclamation point from Deron Hill. 14-point lead. 35 seconds. Russell, that one sent away. Price. Second block on the three-point attempt. To block and not foul in those situations is impressive.
You know, last year they had Caver, who was a star Hawken.
Grant Namey going to check into the game. Senior.
You wonder sometimes when a big-time player, graduates and, what's the next step for the team? Well, Hawken, they got something here.
Some youth. Three-pointer is up from Castelluccio. That's no good. Pulled in by the senior Namey. 23 seconds to go. Hawkins going to win this game and improve to 10-5 on the year and 7-0 in conference play. What a season so far for Coach Burns and the Hawks. Tough loss for the Tigers. They're going to fall under 500. And 2-4 in conference. The layup is up and it's good. Grant Namey gets that one to fall, the senior. With 1 second, that's going to end the ball game. 49-33, the final. Hawken gets the win. They improve to 10-5 on the season. Double A, your thoughts on the game tonight?
Great game by the Hawks. Sometimes when you see the news articles and you talk to, different people, you wonder, is this team the real deal? And, the culture is that the real deal? And the answer is yes. Everything that we saw offensively from this team, from the quick burst of possessions to the long possessions that didn't seem long, but it was efficient ball movement, was great. And then defensively, they lock in. Chagrin Falls had great looks, but they had very few comfortable shots. And I think because of that reason, that's why many of their shots, while it looked good, did not fall. And you get a result like this where Hawken handled business. They win 49-33.
Huge win for the Hawks again, improving to 7-0 in divisional play in the Chagrin Division on CVC TV. To wrap it up for us tonight, again, the final score 49-33. I want to thank you for watching and tuning in. We'll see you next week from Fairview High School. Have a great weekend, folks.